You're listening to program notes for the Florida Orchestra's Huff Family Foundation Masterworks series. In this episode, I will be talking about Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky's Violin Concerto in D major, Opus 35, and John Adams Harmonielehre. So you can dive deeper into the music anytime, anywhere. These audio program notes are authored by Kurt Loft, a local writer who has written about the arts in the Tampa Bay area for more than 40 years. You can find his full transcriptions at floridaorchestra.org. All right, let's dive in. Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky, 1840 to 1893. Violin Concerto in D major, Opus 35. Performance duration, approximately 34 minutes. What to listen for in this piece. For contrast, in the song-like second movement, Tchaikovsky gives the string players the option of muting at the bridge of their instruments, creating a softness against the soloist's vibrant tone colors. As popular as it is today, Tchaikovsky's Violin Concerto entered the world on a sour note. After the premiere in Vienna in 1881 with soloist Adolf Brodsky, the critic Eduard Hanslick published a scathing review. The violin is no longer played. It is beaten black and blue. He called it music that stinks to the ear. Hanslick's pan may well have been tainted by Brodsky's poor playing, because the concerto soon claimed its place among the great statements in musical literature, and stands alongside the violin concertos of Beethoven, Mendelssohn, Brahms, Bruch, and Sibelius. Audiences relate to its rhythmic excitement, sentiment, and unbridled melody. The concerto is by no means original. It borrows from European models, most notably Mendelssohn, but with a high-intensity Russian nationalism thrown in for good measure. Like the composer's melodramatic first piano concerto, it wastes no time establishing an extroverted voice. The first movement rides on a noble main theme, and the ensuing cadenza commands focus and technical security from the soloist. Finger-breaking double stops, piercing harmonics, compressed vibrato, and extended dynamic range all seem impossible coming from a little wooden instrument. The middle movement, a canzonetta, little song, unfolds like an aria from an opera and requires a Mozart-like grace from both violinist and orchestra. The marking for the finale, Allegro vivacissimo, is true to the letter, and the movement opens with an explosive forte. After developing the dance of a Slavic folk song, the violin scampers ahead of the orchestra as everyone meets head-on in a frenetic climax. John Adams, born 1947, Harmonielehre, performance duration, approximately 40 minutes. What to listen for in this piece. As in so much minimalism, insistent ostinato rhythms drive the pace of Harmonielehre, reaching a near breaking point of excitement in the final movement. Harmonielehre opens like a jackhammer, a series of 40 powerful chords, all in E minor, pushing the music forward before disintegrating into particles that dance and swirl within the orchestra. What inspired this formidable opening? It came to Adams in a nocturnal moment, the image of a huge ship rising off the surface of the ocean, suspended in mid-air. The pounding chords at the beginning and end of the movement are the musical counterparts of a dream image I had shortly before starting the piece, Adams notes on his website. In the dream, I watched a gigantic supertanker take off from the surface of San Francisco Bay and thrust itself into the sky like a Saturn rocket. First performed in 1985, Harmonielehre translates to the Book of Harmony, or Treatise on Harmony, taken from the 1911 study by the maverick composer Arnold Schoenberg, the father of atonal music. But Adams wasn't paying tribute to Schoenberg so much as reacting to him. Schoenberg represented to me something twisted and contorted, said Adams, who in 2002 won the Pulitzer Prize for On the Transmigration of Souls. Despite my respect for, and even intimidation by the persona of Schoenberg, I felt it only honest to acknowledge that I disliked the sound of 12-tone music. It was with Schoenberg that the agony of modern music had been born, and it was no secret that the audience for classical music during the 20th century was rapidly shrinking. The 40-minute work unfolds over 3 movements, like a traditional symphony, but blends facets of minimalism with late Romanticism. Throughout, listeners can hear the influences of Mahler, Sibelius, Debussy, and of course, Schoenberg. After the frontal assault of Part 1 comes a slow and moody Anfortis wound, where a lone trumpet floats above the orchestral sheen and the musicians wink at Mahler's unfinished 10th Symphony. The finale, Meister Eckhart and Quacky, is based on another dream in which Adams's daughter, dubbed Quacky, rides on the shoulders of a medieval mystic among the heavenly bodies in a cathedral. The movement is, essentially, an extended crescendo that intensifies and leads to a brassy climax. This is one of the great American masterpieces of the 20th century, and it's pure Americana, said music director Michael Francis. It's also very challenging to perform and has the most incredible, overpowering ending. Historical note, in a bit of musical déjà vu, the Florida Orchestra last played this work in 2002 in a program that also included the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto. Thank you for listening to Sound Waves with the Florida Orchestra. Enjoy the concert.